Thank you to Anima for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description to try Anima for yourself. In the last year alone, vibe coding tools have come really far. Anyone can use these LLM-powered tools to build your own vibe-coded apps. But most of these tools have a big gap, the design side of things, especially if you want your designs to match your own brand style. This leads to a ton of AI slop in just about every AI-designed app. That's where Anima comes in. It understands your brand and design systems and plays well with other AI coding agents like Cursor when you're ready to hand off. I'm going to build you a quick example first to demonstrate what I'm talking about and to showcase the new Anima playground. So inside this Anima playground, we're going to create designs that we will easily be able to share with our team and build in our own design style. Now, you can upload your entire design style to Anima, or you can start by just entering your website URL, as I just did, and telling it to use your brand style from that URL. So I'm creating a design for an investor update dashboard using the no-code MBA design style. And to do that, all I did was give it the no-code MBA URL. And as you can see, it's scanning our pages to understand what the design style is. And then it's going to use that in what we're building. So this is a really easy way to get started with Anima. And then, like I said before, you can also add your entire design style so that the Anima agent knows without you having to go through this scan every single time. So in this video, we're going to go through a few examples of how Anima can create designs that fit your brand style and how easy it is to use. I'm going to go over a few different ways to do this, both from entering in a URL and then also using the Anima Chrome extension, where you can pull any design from any website and use that as a template or example inside the chat. You can even build fully functional prototypes inside of Anima and add a database and user authentication onto your designs. Or you can use it just for prototypes that can then be handed off onto other coding agents. So Anima is designed to be used within your company's workflow. So first to be used as that prototype stage, sharing it with your team so that you can get feedback and iterate, and then handing it off to the other coding agents. So while our dashboard is being created, I'm going to show you an actual playground that I created with Anima earlier and show you what it looks like and what's possible, and also show you some cool Chrome extension tricks that can add functionality into your designs really easily from other websites on the internet. So here we are in a New York Times clone. To do this, I actually used the Chrome extension. So you can download the Anima Chrome extension. So now it's pinned here on my Chrome browser. And I did this by going to the New York Times. And what I did when I was on this website, and you can do this with any website, is click Generate Now. So when I clicked Generate, what that did was open up Anima in a new tab. So I'll close the Chrome extension for now. And it said import this website to code. So what it did was it scanned that website and imported the contents, and it created a design based on that code. Now, we wouldn't want to just do this to copy websites without the consent of that website if you don't own that content. But I'm showing this to you as a way of showing you what's possible. So you could do this with your own website, your own app, use it as a starting place inside of Anima, and then have a really, really close to pixel perfect version of that design that you can then iterate on in this prototype. So here in the code, you can see it wrote code to essentially clone that website that we were on. As I mentioned before, there is the ability to add a database and user authentication into the app if you'd like to do that. And if your app has multiple screens, you can add flow visualization, which is a cool option for prototypes. There's a lot of other features that we can go into, including pushing your code to GitHub, so the code is not locked into Anima, which is really nice. And this ties into that idea of once your app or design is ready, you can hand off to your development team who's using Cursor, who can then implement it into the actual app. So it's not just a prototyping tool that is locked in. You can actually take the code and hand it off to your team. You can also literally select whatever you want in your design, and then you can ask it to make changes, change the text, iterate on the design, and select that directly, which is a really cool feature. The other thing I want to show you, which is, I think, one of the coolest new features in Anima, is the ability to copy any design from any website using the Chrome extension and use it as inspiration inside of Anima. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. And then we're going to jump back in a second to our initial prompt and see if our dashboard is ready and how well Anima did copying the no-code MBA design style. Here we are on ChatGPT, and let's say I'm building a website. We're doing a newspaper website like the New York Times, but I wanted to have a chat input, like an AI chat input on the bottom to ask any question about the news. And I like this design of the chat input here from ChatGPT. So I can click on that button to get my Anima Chrome extension opened up. We can go to captures. And what I can do is press this plus capture button. Now I can click on any element on this page. So I'm going to click on this one. And then here it is. It's saved. I can rename it as ChatGPT input. And I can hit save. So now you can see we have this element saved, and you can, on the internet, just anything you like, you can add as inspiration as you're browsing and just save it to your captures. And now if we go back to the Anima playground, what we can do is, I can even hide this Chrome extension now, give us more space. If I go to this button here on the bottom left, attach captures, we're going to see our captures gallery. So I can click ChatGPT input. So now that is added as basically a reference design. And then I can send a message on the left. I can say, I want an AI chat input on the bottom of the screen where users can ask questions about the news. And because I added that chat input as a reference, it should use that when it is actually generating our design. So at this point, it's going to be a similar interface to if you've used tools like Lovable, for example, before. On the left side, we have our chat. And then on the right side, we have the code and the preview. So it'll just take a second to get the AI to write the update into our prototype. I really like the user interface of Anima as well. I think it's just really clean. And it feels like they put a lot of thought into the design of the actual interface, which I think makes sense considering it is a design tool. So it's nice that they have done that and are kind of building trust with me as the user that they're going to create good design because the dashboard itself is nicely designed and everything has a nice UI to it. The Chrome extension as well is like really smooth. And I just like how simple it is. Like if you're on a website, click generate now. Or if you are on a website and you like something, you can just capture it and come back to it. So really simple, but some really powerful functionality built into that Chrome extension. Something else nice about Anima is if you do have a Figma file, you can upload that Figma file as a starting place and it'll clone the Figma file as well. And you can edit as well. Okay, here we are inside our update. And now we can see it added that ChatGPT component as a design style into the bottom of our website. And it created it like a sticky design on the bottom, which I think is really cool. And of course, you can go in and have it edit the design, iterate, make it so it's a little bit different from ChatGPT, but really cool for prototyping and getting something that looks really good as a starting place. And there's a lot that you could think of for your own use cases and how to clone these components from other websites or even clone components from your own app, which I think is a really great way of matching your own design style. So, let's say you work for Duolingo and you clone, a lot of the Duolingo elements from the app. Then when you're designing here, you can just pull them in. And of course, those are all owned by the company. So there's no issues with having to make changes to use it more as inspiration instead of actually using exactly what is in the Duolingo app. So just one way that you can start thinking about it. In just a second, we're going to jump back to that dashboard in our own custom brand design, which I'm really excited to see how well it did. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you a few more features of Anima. So you're going to want to stick around to see what that final design looks like from our initial prompt. So we're just publishing it. So once it's published, it's going to be turned into a live website. And that's going to allow us to easily share this with our team and then get feedback from our team about what it looks like. So now our project is a live website. So I can click on it and see this is our design live on the internet. It has our ChatGPT input here. And this you could easily share with your team. There's also visibility features to go in and say, okay, anyone with the link can view or only team members can access on your team inside of Anima. So going back to the first prompt that we did where we had it use the brand style of no code MBA to create a mock dashboard, here's our result. Really cool. The data is all made up. We didn't give it any real data to work with. This would be the next step that you could do is you could take this And then you could even upload like a file with all your real data and have it update the dashboard to be real, and also update like recent activity, for example. Some cool things here that you could do to customize it for whatever needs you have. But the main thing that for me really stands out is this does match the no-code MBA style and branding. And it did that all on its own. It like matches the way the elements are on our website, the colors, the gradients, all of it really does match it very well. And this could be done with any brand. You just have to import it. Just literally tell the agent, tell Anima what website you want it to do, and it will create it with that brand style. Let me know in the comments what you think of Anima. Is this something that you could see using yourself? And how do you think it compares to other vibe coding tools, or specifically design tools that you might have tried before? Click the link in the description to try out Anima for yourself. I highly recommend clicking that link, entering in your own brand URL, and having Anima clone your website and build some mockups in Anima based on that brand design. And you should definitely download the Anima Chrome extension. Just go to the Chrome extension store, search for Anima. You'll find it. You can download it. And then you can go to any website, clone that website, or take captures of any website and get specific elements to save to your captures, and then use it inside of Anima to bring in any captures around the internet into the Anima canvas. So you can think of Anima kind of like this digital canvas where the web is all accessible to you with the Chrome extension. So you can bring in anything from the web into the Anima playground. You can share the Anima playground with other people, your team members, external stakeholders, internal stakeholders, just with that URL, and then iterate. And then you can take that code and hand it off to your dev team or AI agents such as Cursor, and it can go directly into that workflow. Anima also has an MCP. So with Cursor, you could directly access everything that's being built here inside the playground. Subscribe to the No Code MBA YouTube channel to get even more free content like this, and we'll see you in the next video.